Ladies and gentlemen, Primetime CP23 here, back with another video. Today, we're taking a look at the final PTR leaderboards for patch 2.6.5. So there's quite a bit to go over, so we're going to get right into it. So we'll start off first with Barbarian. Barbarian is going to be the biggest build diversity in Season 17. Now, the reason for that is because there's several different builds that are capable of being at the very top of the leaderboard. The number one clear for Seasonal currently, which the season's only a week old, they have 1100 Paragon, so it's going to go way up from here. But the current top build for Seasonal is Raycor Hoda, and then we have an Immortal Kings Hoda Barb, both clearing a Greater Rift 104. The build diversity just continues. The third best build currently is a Legacy of Nightmares Hoda Barb, which is cleared a 102. Coming in at number 7 on the leaderboard, clearing a Greater Rift 100, is a Might of the Earth Immortal Kings build. I've never seen anything quite like this, but they cleared a Greater Rift 100 with 880 Paragon, so that's pretty good. And also having cleared a Greater Rift 100, we have a straight Leapquake Barb. So this is 5 builds in Seasonal that have all cleared a GR 100. That is not including Whirlwind, which could also clear over a GR 100 given enough Paragon. That's kind of nuts that there's that many builds that can do 100 plus for Barbarian. That's huge build diversity. So when we move to non-seasonal in the PTR, build diversity is still pretty insane. At a 120, we have Raycor Hoda. Legacy of Nightmares Hoda is second on the leaderboards. Fifth on the leaderboards is a IK Raycor Charge Barb. Now granted, all these guys have thousands of Paragons. I don't think we're going to get quite that high in Paragon this season, but we'll see. So we're going to move on to Crusader now. Crusader is all Legacy of Nightmares, Blessed Shield, all the time. We've got, on non-seasonal, we do have somebody clearing a 137 with over 7,500 Paragon and almost full primal gear. So that's a little excessive. But let's take a look at the seasonal boards, where we have a 122 cleared with only 1,600 Paragon, also running Legacy of Nightmares Blessed Shield. So, Legacy of Nightmares Blessed Shield is going to be the build. When we get into the actual Season 17, it's going to be mixed in a little bit with, like, Condemned Crusaders, because Condemned didn't receive a nerf. Blessed Shield just got a huge buff, and so everyone's testing that. So, keep that in mind when we're talking about the Crusader leaderboards. Demon Hunter, which is my personal favorite class, the leaderboard is going to be mostly Impale for Seasonal, because Impale is nuts. When we move over to non-seasonal, it's the same kind of thing. It's going to be mostly Impale at the top of the leaderboards, but at number 14 on the leaderboards, clearing a Greater Rift 118, we do have an N6 M4 Demon Hunter with only 2,600 Paragon, so that's pretty realistic. People could very easily get to that Paragon in season, so just kind of keep that in mind. Moving on to Monk, it's all Wave of Light all the time. That surprises no one. For non-seasonal, it's going to be Legacy of Nightmares, Wave of Light, pretty much all the way down the leaderboards. Moving over to seasonal for the Monk, it's still going to be primarily Wave of Light, Legacy of Nightmares, but at clearing a 95, I mean, we have an Uliana, 7-sided strike monk, clearing a GR 95. That's still pretty high, and that's with 800 Paragon. There's also a few Inna Wave of Light monks on the leaderboard for seasonal. So there's going to be a little diversity for monk, but not a whole lot. It's still going to be mostly Wave of Light. It's just a matter of if it's going to be Inna or Legacy of Nightmares. When we reach the very end game of the season, it's going to be Legacy of Nightmares. But start of the season, you should see some Innas also. Witch Doctor, for the seasonal leaderboard, it's going to be primarily the Legacy of Nightmares Spirit Barrage build. Spirit Barrage and Jade Harvester are going to be the top builds for Witch Doctor for Season 17. We'll see how much diversity there is. On the seasonal leaderboard for the PTR, currently a 108 has been cleared by Jade, and a 110 with Spirit Barrage. So we'll see how that goes when we get into a little longer season. For Wizards, the seasonal board is going to be primarily Vir Archon build. Currently at the top of the leaderboards with just under 1,500 Paragon. We have the newly buffed Shantados set with the 6-piece Veers set. Also, Traveler's Pledge Compass Rose. So we have 3 different sets in this build. Alrighty. But it's going to be a very, very strong build. Already cleared a 123 just 7 days into the PTR season. So we'll see how that goes over an entire season. When we get into a full season, I think things are going to start tilting towards Legacy Nightmares Meteor, because it is ridiculously strong. As you see here, we've got a GR 135, a GR 133, a 132, all cleared by Legacy Nightmares Meteor Wizards. Okay, so let's backtrack to Necromancer for just a minute. Necromancer has been primarily Corpse Lance ever since, well, since the Necro existed. And that's not going to change. On the non-seasonal leaderboards, clearing a Greater Rift 130, we've got Legacy of Nightmares Corpse Lance. Yay! But also clearing a 130, we do have a Legacy of Nightmares Singularity build. That gives me a little bit of hope, but that's not really a terribly fun build either. So, Necromancer is still going to be one of, if not the most powerful set. For non-seasonal, it's going to be pretty much the same thing. Legacy of Nightmares Corpse Lance and Singularity Legacy of Nightmares. So that's kind of how the Necro season is going to go. Some people are going to prefer using Pestilence for pushing still, but it's not going to end up being as strong as Legacy of Nightmares. So ultimately, the leaderboard, once we get a couple of weeks into the season, the leaderboard is going to be exclusively Legacy of Nightmares. So whatever. I'm not going to look at all of the group play leaderboards, but I do want to highlight the 4-player leaderboard. In literally 1 week of time, we have a group that has cleared a Greater Rift 147. That tells me that we're going to see seasonal groups clearing 150 or beating the game. So just be aware of that. This group compilation is going to be a ZDPS Monk, ZDPS Barb, some kind of weird Poison, Thorns, Legacy of Nightmares, Necromancer. I don't know what exactly this build does. I've never seen anything like this, but it's very powerful apparently. As you can see, they are using a Boyarski's chip, so clearly it's using the pets in this build are doing Thorn's damage. And then we have a Legacy of Nightmares Meteor Wizard to clear all the trash. And then in non-seasonal, of course, we have a 150 cleared with a Z-Barb, Z-Monk, Legacy of Nightmares Wizard, and a more traditional Corpse Lance Legacy of Nightmares Necromancer. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this quick look at the leaderboards. It looks like Legacy of Nightmares is going to rule the leaderboards, which I'm sure is what they were trying to do, given that this is the Season of Nightmares. So, stay tuned for more Diablo 3 videos. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. And until next time, this is Primetime CP23, and I'm out.